Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right, dear devotees, hopefully we're all connected and everything is going steadily. First of all, I'm here, Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan, in service to Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rockcock, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, and to Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. And we pray our service may be accepted too by Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, by Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and by our whole Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga. So we're here to share, and after all we're meant to be sharing what we find to be nourishing to ourselves, what we understand about Krishna consciousness, whatever little we may know, we want to share. And we have some feeling that we know at least a little about Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj, having spent many years at their lotus feet in service by their grace. And actually everything relies on grace, not on knowledge, book knowledge, technical understanding of so many different technicalities in the Sanskrit or in the layers of spiritual life. But really everything finally comes to the grace of the Vaishnavas, the grace of the devotees. So with our head at the lotus feet of those pure masters, Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, in our generation of spiritual life, in our generation of bodily life, we have this opportunity to be under their guidance in the sense of both by scripture and by in person of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj. So something which captures Srila Gurudev very beautifully, very sweetly in his expression of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Guru Maharaj's glories is a short excerpt I'm going to read from the Affectionate Guidance. We're always asked to say, where do we read from? From Affectionate Guidance. And it is a short discussion in the chapter called Transcendental Knowledge and the Fortunate Soul. So a devotee is asking to Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Maharaj, though one may generally acquire knowledge from an external source, we can see in the case of Srila Guru Maharaj that transcendental knowledge was always coming from within his own self. And Srila Guru Maharaj says, yes, this is a very important truth. Sometimes Srila Guru Maharaj would visit Badrik Ashram in the Himalayas. And once while he was there, he contracted pneumonia and was confined to bed with a temperature of 102 or 103 degrees. At that time India was using Fahrenheit. I was not there on this occasion, but other highly respected godbrothers and disciples had accompanied Srila Guru Maharaj. It happened that at this time one greatly learned Pandit came to debate with Srila Guru Maharaj. But when he heard of Guru Maharaj's illness, he decided he would not disturb him. Instead, that Pandit began his philosophical talk with the other Vaishnavas present. All of these devotees were highly qualified in spiritual knowledge, but none of them could defeat that proud Pandit. Meanwhile, Guru Maharaj, hearing everything from his bed in the adjoining room, could not tolerate that the opposing arguments of the Pandit would not be defeated. So, in spite of his high temperature and serious condition, Guru Maharaj sat up, saying, "Bring that man to me." It should have been impossible. All were astonished, and with great respect the Pandit came before Srila Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj said, "I am very sick, but if you can tell me the gist of your question, I shall try to answer." Taking the stance of an agnostic, the Pandit posed his question. Where is the proof that the soul resides within the body? Can you prove this? Guru Maharaj replied by quoting a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam that, quote, everyone is questioning whether the Atma, the soul, exists or not, and this type of debate is continuing. Each gives his opinion based on knowledge gathered from the external world. But the Atma is light, and it is by this light only that knowledge can be seen. It is by the soul's power that they are able to debate. Although it cannot be seen, it is this light within the body that is the power which enables one to see, to walk, talk, and do anything. So that was the verse translation from Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Srila Gurudev is describing. Upon hearing this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, the Pandit immediately accepted defeat and humbly submitted. Maharaj, I also know that shloka, but you have the feeling of Atma, whereas I have not. Because you have seen Atma, you can immediately fulfill my question, whereas I could not have given that answer so quickly, and that is the difference between you and I. So because you have seen Atma, you can immediately fulfill my question, whereas I could not have given that answer so quickly, and that is the difference between you and I. And then Srila Gurudev comments, the mood of the Pandit changed, and he took shelter at the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj and continued to discuss the scriptures. All the Vaishnava sadhus there were amazed that in only 30 seconds or so, that great proud Pandit had been defeated. So we can see, so we can see technical problem. So we can see knowledge and transcendental knowledge are not the same thing. Okay, so we can see that knowledge and transcendental knowledge are not the same thing. We gather knowledge with our senses in this plane, but transcendental knowledge appears in the heart through transmission from one who is fully conscious in the divine plane. And then the devotee then comments, it would seem that without real love and service to the Guru, too much knowledge can be a problem in our spiritual life. And Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Gurudev says, yes, it is a very unfortunate problem, and I have seen this many times in my experience in this mission. We all have some power of realization, but that realization is all based on our experience of the mundane world. Therefore, whatever we perceive will be with the eye of mundanity. This type of vision has been growing ever since our childhood, and although we may develop great expertise in any given field of knowledge, still that will be mundane. That very knowledge may be an obstacle to our devotional life. Only by the mercy of Guru can we overcome these obstacles. Otherwise, it is not possible. Hare Krishna. And then Srila Guru Maharaj says, Srila Gurudev, Srila Govinda Maharaj says, I often tell that I have been in this mission for over 40 years now. So you will understand that I have seen many things in that time, many obstacles to devotion. But my guardian was very strong, and by his mercy I crossed over those things. If I have strong faith in my guardian, then if I see anything wrong, I will be able to cross over that safely. Everybody has some problem in this mundane world. It is by nature a faulty plane. But to see with a fault-finding nature will be very bad. If I am examining a person, why should I try to see where are his faults? Rather, I should search where are the good tendencies in that person. I must try to see that. And this is my Master's teaching. Hare Krishna. So anyhow, I suppose a couple of points here, and where I was beginning, and after some discussing with the devotees this morning, then also this part about it's not mundane knowledge, but it is the gracious gift of our masters and those who know that land of Goloka Vrindavan, ultimately the land of Krishna, the land where love, the land where attraction through love, beauty, and through automatic loving service is the bond with every living entity, with everything there, because everything is living. And so those who are a resident there can tell us about that plane, can transmit grace from that plane to us living in the mundane world. And so our knowledge, our learning this, learning that, learning the other, actually it all comes down to finally, may we satisfy those who have got in their hand the treasure of bhakti. In their hand they have this, they can distribute this, they have the wealth to distribute without it being depleted. Rather, Mahaprabhu and Nityananda are saying, distribute and more will come to you. Don't feel that you will be abandoned, that you will be empty if you give what you have. So Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, they very broadly distributed generously, and generously the proof, the whole world has come to hear from the Paramahamsa Vaishnavas and have come to hear how to please the Vaishnavas, how to change our consciousness from our mundane base to the spiritual base. And the spiritual base is all based on loving, selfless service to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. And we have the grand gurus who have come to give us what has not been given before. That message of Mahaprabhu fully intact to the whole world. And this has been given to us in all its purity, in all its full-fledged theism, to use Srila Guru Maharaj's expression, by Srila Guru Maharaj, by Srila Gurudev, by Srila Prabhupada. And so we can keep in mind the expressions of the great Pandit who knows everything. And perhaps this Pandit also was, I heard Guru Maharaj perhaps describe this Pandit one time as a Shrutira. He knew the whole Srimad Bhagavatam. He'd read, and what he read he remembered. But to come up with the substance, the particular point and substance at the particular time, then he said, oh, Guru Maharaj, I know these verses, but I could not draw those out at this time. Maybe in a long time I would find it, but immediately this has come to you. And why? Because you are aware of the spiritual plane, and I am not. You are aware of Atma. I am not aware of Atma. I have book knowledge. More or less this was the description. And then Srila Gurudev saying how the mood of that Pandit changed, and he took shelter at the lotus feet of Srila Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna. So many things in our experience of life, of knowledge gaining, of experience gaining, so many things in this world, but to come to the lotus feet of those who really have got the living, not only connection, but the living residence in the upper world, then by their grace we can understand there is a proper goal of life, a proper use of our energy, and we should proceed accordingly. And then, in due course, in our short reading this morning, Srila Gurudev pointing out that we are living in Kali Yuga where there are faults everywhere. And so we have fault, everyone has fault, but we should not be looking at the fault of others. We should be looking at the good qualities of others. And then we should use our fault-finding tendencies for ourselves. This is how Srila Gurudev has many times described, and in public to ourselves also. And any fault-finding tendency we have, we must use on ourselves, find our own fault and rectify that. And then Srila Gurudev saying this point, if I am examining a person, why should I try to see where are his faults? Rather, I should search where are the good tendencies in that person. I must try to see that. And this is my master's teaching. And who is his master? Who is our master? Srila Guru Maharaj, Om Vishnupad, Srila Bhakti Rakak, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj. And Srila Gurudev is always showing us what are his teachings, what are his advices for us, and where does he live, what is our relationship. All of the things that Srila Guru Maharaj gave, Srila Gurudev is drawing out and showing to us. So let us also learn from he as our master, Srila Guru Maharaj as our master, Srila Prabhupada as our master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur as our grand master, Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And by their grace, may we try to follow their guidance, and may they shower their grace. It is only grace which is going to take us to the upper world. So happily with you all, sharing these 2 points and from the book, the affectionate guidance, and available for everyone. You can readily read this book. It's available online in different places as PDF, as EPUB, etc. And we are here to serve, to share, and to try to make our own lives on course, and as far as we understand and can share, help others with any questions, because we have also been by now over 40 years in the mission. We've seen many things, and in the experience of the transition of Srila Prabhupada disappearing, Srila Guru Maharaj disappearing, many of the godbrothers of Guru Maharaj disappearing, and then presently with all of this background, Srila Gurudev's disappearance. And so here we are, we're trying to keep in the forefront the teachings of Srila Gurudev, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada, and keep their teachings for our own practical life solid, clear, honest, and give guidance as best as we can, means give guidance to hear their message, and if some explanation of their message is required, like here Gurudev is helping us understand Guru Maharaj's message. This is my master's teaching, he's saying. Then we are here to assist in this way. So, in the service of all the devotees, in the service of sincere seekers, and in this way, in service to our divine masters, then we are here with obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. All glories to our divine masters, all glories to Sri Gauranga. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bo. Gaura Hari. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivas Adi, Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.